Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Thursday, the 4th day of April. It's 4/4/2013. Let's see, results this morning. We had 12 trades this morning. We were plus 25 ticks on crude oil, minus 8 ticks on the Russell. We were plus 36 ticks on gold and flat on soybeans. And yes, and Robin's here too. And we were flat on soybeans. It took us 25 minutes and 5 trades to make our 2 points this morning. I put it down over here already. We were at 100 plus $140 a contract at that point. Plus $140 a contract after 5 trades. We lost our first trade this morning on soybeans. Was it soybeans? No, it wasn't soybeans. It was on the Russell or something. Yeah, the Russell. We lost our first trade on the Russell. And then we made money on, I think the follow-up trade was on gold. Couple of trades on gold and a trade on crude, I think, at the beginning. Anyway, let's see. So far for the month, we are plus $1,410 in the 4 days that we have traded so far. We have had a total of 47 trades in the 4 days that we have traded in the month of April. And if you apply an $8 round turn commission to every trade that we took, you're still up $1,000 so far per contract this week from the live trading room. Okay, I know this morning there were a bunch of guys that did better than I did. There was a ton of opportunity in the pre-market. I know a bunch of guys were finished before the markets really even opened up. But let's not get into that. I only have a few minutes, so I'm gonna just go right through the trades that I took. Okay. Now, if you're here and it's your first time here, then this is really fast. I'm going to be jumping through this really fast, but that's because I'm crunched for time a little bit. But if you've been here before, then you know all the trade setups that I'm showing you. The market opened up and there was a ton of opportunity, just a literal ton. I mean, if you put all this opportunity in a bucket and put it on top of yourself, it would squish you. Well, unless of course you can withstand a ton of opportunity. Anyway, I digress. Right here at the open, there was an opportunity to get long. We missed that. We missed all this stuff right here on the crude oil. We finally got long over here. Took a little profit on that one. We took a break even on that. We missed that. We took more profit on that, and more profit on that, and more profit there and there. Now, what we're looking for here is when the market is trending strong like this, it's got so much momentum it doesn't pull back up and test the BBC and give us an opportunity to trade off the BBC. What we look for, we draw a trend line, a down close below the trend line with divergence down here. Now the cycle doesn't have to be the right color as long as you have the confirmation of closing below the trend line. Okay? Many of our trades were like that today on all the markets that we traded because the markets were just running today. They were running around. Now this is the other type of trade that we have with the bearish cross of the MA1, which is a blue and red line, below the BBC, which is the green line. Price pulls away from the BBC, comes back up, touches it, tests it, closes down below it, and then you get in on the down close. You look down here to make sure you have divergence in a red cycle off the BBC like that, and you get in on the down close off the BBC. Those are the two types of trades that we have. They're the same across every single market that we have. There's one right here happening right now on the Russell. Bearish cross, pull away, test, down close, bearish divergence. Okay, this is happening right now on the Russell 2000. I'm not the Russell, on gold. Sorry, this is gold, not the Russell. Actually, the Russell's just about to put one together in the opposite direction right now. So there's gold. Here it comes on the Russell right here. You see how price is pulling down to the BBC. Here's our trend line. We have red on the cycle now, so we need to have an up close above this trend line before the black line gets below the BBC. That's all there is to it. Now, while I have the Russell out, I'll show you the one trade that we took over here on the Russell this morning. Oh, apparently we took 2 trades on the Russell. Did I mark down 2? I didn't mark down 2. Our first trade was right here. It closed down below the... it was actually a close off the BBC. Down close off the BBC, stopped us out. Then it went to where we thought it was going to go. Hang on, I need to update my sheet. We actually had 13 trades today. 13 trades. So we would be at 1,026 per contract after commissions. Okay. I didn't realize we had two trades there, but we did. Okay, we had a break-even trade over here. Once we took the break-even trade, we got in the trade right here on the down close below the trend line. We moved our stop to break-even once we closed below the MA1, and it came back up to Casada break-even, and then it made a nice move down. You can see there were more opportunities here on the Russell this morning, a bunch that we didn't take, but we made a decent amount of money this morning, and we were pretty happy with what we did. On gold right now, a down close below this MA1 right here, a down close below the MA1 is something that you would want to short right there. Okay, well, you should already be short, but that's where you should move your stop to break even. Or that's where I would move my stop to break even. We did take a few gold trades today. I think we took 5 of them. Let's see. Here we go. Gold had some really, really big moves in the pre-market. I know some of you guys, some of the partners that were in there in the pre-market this morning really did. They did really, really well. All right. Whether they were paper trading or whether it was real, they still did really, really well. Okay. We had our bearish cross right here, and let's see. Right in here would have been the first spot to get into that. Now, granted, that was all pre-market, but if you got short right there at 15.50, what you anticipate when you have divergence down here on the slingshot is that the green line is going to work its way down into the cycle. That finally did that way over here. So the entry would have been up here somewhere. 15, what did I say? Right here. Yeah, 15.50 point. Nope, not that one. There was just a little bit of divergence there. You might have shorted this with the momentum right there, but the next one would have been right there at 15.50 even. Writing it down to like here somewhere. 1546.7 for $330 a contract. But the trades that I took, the first trade that I took was right in here. I think we took 10 ticks profit on that. We took 10 ticks profit on that. We took one more tick on this. We took another 10 on this, I think. Another 10 on that, something like that. Or 7 somewhere. I know we took 7 somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, we ended up with plus 36 ticks is what we have on gold. But we took our short trade right here, and it dropped down. We took another short trade right here, and it dropped, and we moved our stop to plus 1 tick. We took a long trade over here, and I believe this is the one we only got 7 ticks profit on. We took another long trade in here, and I believe we got 10 ticks profit on that. We took, now the reason this looks messed up is because I had moved that around. Andrew, you were saying that right over here you thought was the spot to get in, and you had gotten in over there somewhere. Let me just, on the picture that you had sent to me. I didn't see that on the trend line when the market was moving around. You had drawn your trend line down like that, and you had said this was an up close right here, and so you got in right there. Something like that. That's the one, right? I didn't notice it that way. I had drawn the trend line across this top right here when the market was moving around. Okay, I didn't notice it, but you're not wrong. But I didn't notice it. Okay, we got the up close in here, and it moved up. Now there was a spot right up here. This was an up close above a trend line. If I'd have drawn the trend line in there, I told everyone about that, and I said I didn't like it here because I was looking for a deeper pullback, and this was the deeper pullback right here, but we never got back up above. Then everything turned around. There was an opportunity to short, and we did. And I believe that was the last trade we took on gold. It was. Now over here at the one that just happened a second ago, I said I would have moved my stop to break even on the down close below the MA1 right here. So if I had gotten into this trade at 47.9 or 47.8, it would have dropped down, 5 or 6 ticks depending where you got into it. My stop would have been a break even. I would have gotten out at break even on this trade if I had not locked in a little bit of profit. Okay, that's the gold. All right. So I've done crude, the Russell, and gold. Soybeans. Let me show you the soybeans. That's the other place we took a trade today. Oops. Oh no! Did I just close that? I did. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on, let me just see one more time if I really did just close it. Well, I did, but it doesn't matter. Let me just change this to a soybean ZS. Okay, 3. I'll just change this to a soybean chart. Because the indicators are the same, so it doesn't really matter. I'll show you where we traded once it comes up here. I'll show you where we traded, and it's got a lot of drawing objects on it. Let me just pull all these drawing objects off once they get highlighted here. And I'll show you. There we go. I could take all the drawing objects off. This is where we traded over here. The open was right in here, okay, and it had bearish divergence at the time. This was our trend line. It was going up like that. The down close over here was the spot to get short. All right, because that was a down close below the trend line. That was the spot to get short on the thing. I believe I did get short in there, and I got stopped out at break even right over here. Okay, so we shorted right here. I had a sell stop on one tick below where I thought that was going to close, and we got out right there at break even. You can see the thing did go down considerably from there, so the direction was right. It was just the timing that was wrong. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you did, Andrew. You did that right. That's fine. Do I announce the trades before I put them on? I try to announce the trades whether I put them on or not. I try to tell you what's setting up. When I trade them, when I don't trade them, whether I'm putting them on or not. I don't like to have trades on in more than 2 markets at once, and a lot of times that happens. There's a ton of different things that you can do in here. I don't recommend that everybody try to trade 8 different markets, but I do it for the benefit of everyone else. Okay. Right in here, the soybeans moved around a little bit, and you can see there was another opportunity right in here. All right. This was the NQ chart, so I don't have an NQ chart to go over anymore. There was an ES trade over here that I pointed out. I said right there, had an up move. We needed to close above that trend line. Once it started to go down, then it just tanked right down to the weekly trading zone. Stopped within the zone. Had another opportunity there on the upside. Yeah, I'll try, Frank. I'll try to announce the trades the night before. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a trade on crude tomorrow. All right, are you ready? Get your order ready. There's going to be a trade on crude. There's going to be one on gold, too. And there'll be one on soybeans. There'll be one on natural gas. There'll be one on the ES, even. For those of you guys who like to trade that thing. Well, the ES came back down right into the weekly trading zone, and it's going sideways right in here inside the weekly trading zone. Now, Al, that's twice today you said that to me. It is just another day. Every day is just another day. You just sit down and trade the plan every single day. All right, guys. With that, I am going to wrap up the recap here. We ended the morning session. We were plus 25 on crude, minus 8 on the Russell. We were plus 36 on gold. We were flat on soybeans after one trade. Took us 25 minutes and 5 trades to make our 2 points this morning, or our 2 points equivalent. We were actually plus $140 a contract at that point. We were plus $530 a contract on the morning, and let's see. I think that's about it, right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. If you are a partner, there's a partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are not a partner and you want to get into the partners meeting tonight, you need to become a partner. If you don't know how to, or you want the information required to become a partner, just send us a quick email at support@cfrn.net. Support@cfrn.net, and I'll get that information off to you as quickly as possible.
And if you want to win the iPad,
yes,
go to the blog. At the bottom of any blog post, click the iTunes link. Go subscribe to the podcast. It's free. You don't have to have a smartphone. You can run iTunes from your PC. It's a great way to manage all your digital files. You can install the iTunes software for free, have access to all kinds of media. You'll be able to subscribe to the podcast. Okay, that gets your name in the hat to win the iPad mini. If you also leave a review, you can either write one out or just give us a 5-star rating, whatever you want to do, or both. That'll get your name in the drawing a second time. Okay. Now, if you can invite a friend or a spouse or a coworker to subscribe to the podcast, and they can get their name in the hat. But I don't want anyone to leave a review that has not actually listened to the program, because that's gaming the system, and I don't want to do that. Okay. But I do want to give away an iPad Mini. In fact, you know that I want to give away 100 this year, and we gotta pick up the pace. So we're going to give one out. Well, we didn't give one away this week, so maybe we'll give away 2 next week. And maybe we'll do rollover. In other words, if you have subscribed to the podcast and left a review, you got your name in the hat twice. Let's say we have a drawing one day next week and you don't win that day. Maybe we'll just roll all those names over into the second drawing. I said I would talk about Day Job Palooza. And basically what that is, guys, I don't have time at the moment. I'll talk about it at the end of the show. But for all of you who are still working the day job, we don't want you to quit the day job. But you will now be able to take the training, the course, everything. You'll be able to, I'll talk about it at the end of the show. I'll go into some detail on the blog. Also, to the equity partners, congratulations, you guys. You've done a fantastic job. We'll be delivering that first check next week to New Hope. You guys already have your checks, but you know what? You guys deserve more than me just chattering. You deserve the official candy clap. All right, with that, we're going to go to Vegas, talk to David Williams from PageTrader.com, and Miss Robin Dane, the trading coach. So please don't touch your radio.